Welcome back to Lenz Comic Corner, Classic, Non-Classic. This is episode number 2409 and episode 2303. Excuse me. We have a Captain America Epic Collection issues to talk about, which is basically the 16th one. Yes, volume 16, Streets of Poison, which collect issues 372 to 386, along with annuals 9 and 10. Now, with also this one, we have two more epic collections left to go, and that'll be done with volume 1. Now, here's the neat thing about these issues. These are the final issues to discuss that came out for the 300s. And these issues came in the time period of May 1990, and we conclude in April of 1991. The first 7 issues in any of these is known as Streets of Poison. It's a 7-parter starts with issue 372 and conclude with issue 378. It's a very exciting 7-parter. It's mostly, in a way, Captain America's version of a gang war, where at one point in this storyline we have Wilson Fisk the Kingpin from the pages of Spider-Man and Daredevil fighting the Red Skull in their underwear. Yes. And here's the thing. Cap does not interfere with this fight at all because he hates Red Skull. He doesn't hate per se Wilson Fisk. He doesn't like him very much. So he decides, okay, we have my arch nemesis fighting the enemy of Spider-Man. Okay, so I'm gonna beat the crap out of Crossbones because that's literally what he does. We also have Bullseye and Black Widow get involved in this story arc. It is so fun because we still have the awesomeness that is Mark Greenwald on the book. Yes. And I personally love this story arc. And who does the artwork for this story arc, you might ask? Why, it's Rob Lim. There's also a Becca feature for the book for these issues. Yes, a Becca feature. Like the first one focuses on Battlestar. Yeah, and the Becca feature for that one is drawn by Mark Bagley. Yeah, that's the first issue. Now, usually it's like Battlestar and various other characters. Then we have what continues with U.S. Agent getting involved in 373. Yeah, and also Diamondback is here as well. And, Typhoid Mary gets involved in this, and Daredevil? Yes. And Becca features mostly focus on Battlestar for these issues? Yes. And him fighting the Power Broker and Cara Mortis. Yeah, and he's a character who is actually responsible for the original Porcupine. Yep. Yeah, and prior to this storyline, he had last appeared back in Avengers Spotlight number 29. And he actually had previously appeared in this book in issue 364. Now, of course, he did show up, first time he showed up in this book back in 308, which was Mark Greenwald's second ever issue. So Mark Greenwald got a chance around him. And also, the freaking Power Broker. Yep, the Power Broker. Yep, who is a Roger Stern character. Yes. Yeah, this character, he's created by Roger Stern. Yeah, and he appeared first a lot in Hulk, and then he appeared a lot in Captain America for a very good period of time. This storyline has sadly put his last time he appears in the book before appearing for one more issue, and then he pops up U.S. Agent issue Thunderbolts and Fearless of U.S. Revolt, and that was it for this Power Broker character. Yep. Yeah. I love the fact that Battlestar himself gets its own feature. So it's just really good here. And of course, U.S. Agent gets involved. And pretty much the whole storyline is wrapped up by issue 378. And there's an end Becca feature in the book. Nope. Except it's replaced by Diamondback. Yes. And then we have it's where Nefarious, who's wearing Count Nefarious' costume, he's basically a ripoff of him. Yeah, he is an old Captain America character, and 370 was basically first became this character. Yeah, they say he's the son of Captain Nefarious, but he really isn't. He's just some goof. We also have Quasar appearing in this issue along with Moonstone. And then 380, we have Diamondback being put on trial for supposedly spilling secrets to Captain America. And Cap is like, I've never interested in your secrets. Yeah. And that mostly put his issues 380 to like 382. We also have Paladin show up in these issues. Yes, freaking Paladin. Yeah. And we continue the whole Serpent Society stuff. And we include issue, well, we have 383. Now, you might be thinking, though, like, does Diamondback stuff feature in this book about this point? No. 380 was basically hers. And 379 was hers. And then 381 becomes U.S. Agent's backup feature. Yes, U.S. Agent has a backup feature in the book. And we mostly explore him. As for the triple issue, mostly put, it's our backup features. One is basically, in this of course is Double Issue celebrating Cap's, at the time, 50th anniversary. Coming out in January of 1991. Yeah, and also the issues he starts fighting Father Time. Yes. They say his first appearance? Not really. His first appearance actually was in Blonde Fantasy Comics number 22. Yeah. And he appears here for one issue. One. Yeah. We also have a character named Johnny Appleseed. Yes. Seriously. I'm like, wait. Did they basically give a name of a guy from a poem? Johnny Appleseed? Yeah, and we have also apparently a version of God, Paul Bunyan, Uncle Sam. Okay. Yeah, features in this book are Captain America and Bucky found alongside the Highland Commandos, and we also have a U.S. Agent story and a Crossbone story. Yes, a Crossbone story, but we're not done yet. Oh no. Then we have Cap versus a guy called Iceworm. Well, actually, a creature known as Iceworm. Yeah, and Thor appears in this issue too. Jack Frost himself, who is a character which Cap fought back in the 30s. Yeah, he thought he was actually looking for D-Man. He couldn't find him. Now, here's the thing. He appeared for this one issue of this book, and the next time he appears was actually in Captain B Battalion. This actually was his first appearance in sort of present day since Marvel 201 number 2, since, no, that was Flashback book. Let's see. Actually, no, this was actually his first present day story. Yep. Yeah, he basically was in ice while looking for Demon. They didn't actually find him. And it happened where, in 385-386, they take on the Watchdogs. Oh boy, the frickin' Watchdogs. If you don't know who the heck these guys are basically, they're racist. Yeah. And these issues are kind of the beginning and the end of these characters because they appear like a few more times after this and then nothing for years. Because after this, they appear 1, 2, 3, 4. They appear 5 times. The next appear in Captain America 394. 2 issues with the Wild Pack. And then go back to Captain America 439. And next time they appear is in the final issue of Captain America Volume 5. Issue 50, and they become sort of semi-recurring characters for like one story for Captain America. And then they were brought back for Tawati's run. And probably a couple more times after that. And that's been pretty much it for them. Yes. And if you're really curious about the Watchdogs, they're Mark Greenwald creation. I honestly have no idea why the heck he created these guys for. It is quite stupid of an idea. Now you're probably thinking, wait, Nick, did you mention there was annuals in this book? Yes. Yes, there was. And number 9, I decided to skip because it's a Terminus Factor one. Yeah, but that's mostly the opening story. The other stories focus on a guy called Reb Rodson, who is a character from the Howling Commandos book. Yeah, it's most focused on him. The next book and next story is focused on Nomad. And think, okay, what about number 10? And number 10 is part of the Von Strucker Gamut. Yep. Now, the Von Strucker Gamut is basically a 3-part crossover. It starts off in Daredevil number 7 and continues in Punisher number 4, includes in Captain America and number 10. Surprisingly, this book does not collect the other 3 parts for some reason. I don't know why, but I don't. Yeah, and they brought in this book, General Chester Phillips, And that's pretty much it. It's a really interesting storyline. It's mostly put Cap team up with some Avengers taking on some of his own villains. Like Hans Kruger, Baron Zemo, Red Skull, Sin, Viper, and Flag Smasher. Hans Kruger, if you don't know who this guy is, this guy was a character from the 1940s. As a matter of fact, I believe this guy was also responsible for shooting... Like, this, I think this is the guy responsible for killing the Doctor from the opening issue. Yeah, and that's basically your Captain America issues for you. Excellent issues. Love them. Give the book a 10 out of 10. Next up we have is, well, another trade here. It's basically Spider-Man by Tom DeZago, which collected issues 7 through 24. Yes, the book collected that far. 18 issues. Now, I'm also discussing the series only annual. Yes. Yeah, the book did have technically one annual published in 1986, which is not collecting the trade. The annual, simply put, basically is a flashback of it's called Kraven's First Hunt. It's a really good storyline, and then the backup stories mostly put focus on Julie Carpenter. Yeah, and the original Spider-Woman. Yeah, it's just mostly put basically revisiting a Spider-Man 15. That's most what it is. As for the issues themselves, now I've already discussed the opening 6 issues already, because that's Dan Jurgens' run. What about 7 through 11? That was actually in the Clone Saga stuff. Okay, but what about issue number 12? Well, that's where we're starting, issue 12. Where basically you have Spider-Man versus the Trapster. Then you have 13 to 15. That's basically Spider-Man in the Savage Land for a few issues. While it did with the Raxon Corporation. Yep. Then you have Spider-Man versus the Prowler. Well, a new Prowler called Rick Lawson. And he is here for 3 issues from issue 16 to 18. Yeah, and also we deal with the Vulture. Yeah, and also this guy called DK. He gets killed off here. Yeah. Well, supposedly, until he was brought back in an Infinity book. Yep. And in 19, we deal with Spider-Man versus the Living Pharaoh, except it's a woman. Yep. This is not the original one. No, not really. Yeah, the Living Pharaoh is actually a guy. Yeah, for some reason, was this a woman? I honestly don't know why. And she has 2 appearances in comics. She's there for a quick 2-parter, and then she's done. Yep. But she's possessed by the real Living Pharaoh, Admit Abdul. Yeah. Oh, by the way, we have a guest appearance in the... a guy called Mr. Martinez appearing in the book. Yeah. That's mostly Pharaoh stuff. And then we have in 21, we have Spider-Man versus the Techomancer Corporation. Yep. Versus a company. For 3 issues. And then they pop up for issue 32. Yeah. And also Doctor Strange gets involved in these issues. Yeah. It's like, okay. The other thing I got blue is like, okay, so we have a character who's associated with Doctor Strange. So it's kind of like, yeah, let's have a Doctor Strange story for a few issues. Okay. And then 24, which is the last issue to discuss here, it's Spider-Man versus Hydra Man. Yep. But it's a Christmas issue, despite the fact, yeah, it's a Christmas issue. The cover date released in February, but came out in December. Yeah. Hydra Man had last appeared back in Thunderbolts and number 1. Well, it was technically the first annual release in 1987. That's where he previously appeared. He next appears in issue 26 as part of the Identity Crisis stuff. Yep. And with that, I'm pretty much mostly done with Sensational Spider-Man. Yes, there's only just a few more issues left to go for this series, but these issues I found really good. So the villains are kind of weird, but Sensational Spider-Man I thought it's a really underrated series mostly, but I found it really good. So with this, all the current books are ready for Identity Crisis. And afterwards, it'd be the wrap-up of these 4 comics. Well, there is technically one book I'll discuss here for Spider-Man, and that's Spider-Man Unlimited. But that will be discussed in another video. Okay, so by the way, I give these issues roughly I'll give these issues roughly a 9 out of 10. Okay, so that's it. Stick with you next episode. One more comic corner. It's on the case closed next. Okay, next video. Bye.